Are you doing keto and intermittent fasting perfectly, yet you're not losing any weight? I have a lot of videos on Plateau. So what I did is I combined all of them into one video to make it really, really simple. Let's first cover some basics. First thing is, what is normal, okay? When someone does keto and IF, they usually lose a lot of water weight, sometimes up to 8 pounds in the first week. That means they're carrying a lot of water. Then the second week, they're hardly losing any weight at all, maybe 2 pounds. Well, the maximum fat burning, the actual fat you can lose per week with a healthy metabolism is only 2 pounds. Okay, that's actually really good. So if you're losing a half a pound or a pound, don't take a loss on that. That's actually quite good, especially as you get older or postmenopausal. That's probably going to be the most you're going to actually lose because the metabolism is slowed down. So just consider what normal is. Second point, it's get healthy to lose weight, not lose weight to get healthy. Health comes first, weight loss second. And let me define health. Energy improvement, no more cravings, hunger is gone, feel vibrant. So if you're focused on losing weight before that, not a good strategy. Our body will release some of this fat once we get healthy. So when you start the program and you notice that you're not losing weight, yet your hunger is gone, realize it's working. Just give it more time because the body has to get healthy. And there's all sorts of things happening at the cellular level, building proteins and fixing repair actions and things like that. Okay, next point. Muscle weighs more than fat per volume. So if you have atrophy, loss of muscle protein, which actually looks like fat, and you start this program, your body is going to repair that first. So you may start building more muscle. And that's going to be a little heavier than the actual fat per volume. So you may notice you're shrinking, especially in your waist, and that means that it's working. Just give it more time, but not necessarily weight loss because your body is focusing more on the protein building. You may be losing some fat, but the protein is going up. Okay, 9 things, okay, in the order of importance. So let's say you're not losing weight. What do? Step 1, double check your carbohydrates. A lot of times there's hidden carbs. You're consuming maybe a fruit here and there, some wild rice, some bread on the side, because you're not exactly doing it perfect. Or it could be some wine, or it could be a so-called keto-friendly bar or some type of dessert. And then when you read the ingredients, it is filled with sugar, okay? Okay, so number 2, your fasting pattern. This is very, very, very important. And sometimes if you have a slow metabolism, you need to fast longer. So the key is start where you're at, do 3 meals, no snacks. Then don't eat if you're not hungry, ride the wave. And so you skip your breakfast. And then your first meal of the day maybe is at lunch. And then the second is at dinner. And then you take those 2 times and you start squishing them together, okay? So now you're at a 4-hour window, and then now you fast for 20 hours, okay? And then let's say you're still not losing weight, and then you basically eventually go to 1 meal a day. Most people will lose a good amount of weight with that, unless they have a history of a lot of dieting, or they're going through menopause, or they had diabetes or have diabetes, or they have a lot of weight to lose, or they have a fatty liver. So the body has to kind of take the fat off the liver first before it starts going after your belly. So they might not see something right away, but this is what they need to do. They might need to have 1 meal a day every other day, okay? That will handle even the most severe case. Some people, what they do is they do intermittent fasting. They do 1 meal a day, and then every week they go for 48 hours. So there's a lot of different things that you can try, but you need to increase your fasting. Okay, number 3, bloating. You're eating all these vegetables, you're not used to them, and you're just bloated and you're retaining water. You just need to cut the vegetables out right now because you probably have something called SIBO. small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and that's just causing your gut to be filled with fiber, and you're getting constipation, you have fluid retention. That happens on occasion, so cut down the amount of vegetables that you consume. Maybe some steamed or cooked vegetables. Or just have like some leafy green salad, but not that much. This can inhibit your weight loss. Number 4, start cutting down your fat. Now, fat is good in the beginning, but when you start becoming adapted, we want to burn our own body's fat, not the dietary fat as much. So you might want to cut down your fat to about 75 grams. It's just a matter of not adding any fat to the meal. Just eat the fat that's normally with the protein, to keep it simple. So this will help. Number 5, add exercise in there, especially if you could do it when you're fasting. So if you're between 40 and 50 or getting your 60s, you want to work out probably twice a week and you spread it out. Just make sure the workouts are intense or long enough to really cause your whole body to be exhausted, or you're sweating, because we want to do a very thorough workout. But we have to make sure we don't overtrain. So it's a judgment call. I'm going to put a lot of videos down below for each point so you can get more data on that. Number 6, add another 30 minutes of sleep, maybe even 1 hour. Believe it or not, you trigger growth hormone, which is the main fat-burning hormone, when you're sleeping. And sleeping could greatly improve your metabolism. Add another 30 minutes. You might even need to take a nap or just go to bed a little bit earlier. This is actually quite big, by the way. And you also have the need for less snacking too when you have fully slept. Number 7, this is when you can add the apple cider vinegar, dilute it, drink it through the day with water. More potassium through electrolyte powder or more vegetables. B1 through nutritional yeast, magnesium, leafy greens, or electrolyte powder, and or vitamin D. These are all things that will improve the situation with insulin. It'll help lower insulin by improving insulin resistance. So if we reduce insulin, you'll lose more weight. But I don't recommend this unless the carbs are low and you're fasting, okay? Because if you're adding nutrients on top of carbohydrates, on top of frequent eating, it just doesn't work. Number 8, reduce your stress. Everyone goes through stress, but there's usually 1 or 2 sources of this stress. And it could be certain personalities that you're involved with. Do whatever you can to improve that situation, because I will say a lot of people lose weight when they reduce stress and when they go on vacation, because they're separating themselves from the stress and their body just does very, very well. This is very important, by the way, okay? Just I'm emphasizing it for importance. Okay, and lastly, number 9, fix a health problem that you may have that is not associated with weight loss. So in other words, take the weak link of the body and correct it. So let's say you have a thyroid issue or some gut issue or inflammatory or pain situation or anything. Focus on that to eliminate that, to speed up the overall metabolism. All right, and lastly, check out these additional videos on plateauing on this page right here.